A little birdie told me that your house is just filled with like a gajillion items from, Guns N' Roses history.
Yeah, this is just a small sample of a very large private collection of memorabilia ranging from awards, records, posters.
So when someone comes, you like lance one of their boils, you're like, okay, that was $500. And now I know I can go buy a vintage, Guns N' Roses t-shirt. Thank you so much for coming in here.
Right, that's what I've been spend all my extra money on.
Perfect.
But it's been over 30 years now. I've been collecting, and I've gone to various sources, lots of very interesting and personal stories on how I acquired a lot of my stuff.
What are we looking at here?
This is a gold record award presented to Slash to commemorate the 500,000 copies of their second studio album. And what's unique is that this is an award to Slash.
Right.
And on top of that, it's also signed by Slash. I get it through a friend of a friend who was an associate of the band.
Little random fun fact, if you ever take one of these apart and actually play the record, chances are it's not even Guns N' Roses. It's going to be just a spray-painted gold album. I know that from dismantling one of my dad's gold records. Very cool piece of history. What do we have here? This looks like it's very private material.
So these are personal letters and messages that were written by Axl for his then girlfriend and later wife, Erin Everly.
Very cool.
And Erin Everly was actually the inspiration for Sweet Child of Mine, which of course was the greatest hit of Guns N' Roses back in 1988 when the single was released. So it's basically a letter that Axl wrote when he was on tour. It's just the kind of romantic things that you would expect, very poetic, and this is, again, like you say, it's the inspiration for Sweet Child of Mine, so I thought that...
I almost don't like looking at it. I mean, admittedly, I was fascinated, and I did read them, but it feels like it's too personal. It's like you never want to open up someone's diary, and this is definitely a snapshot into the mind of what Axl's thinking, being on the road, and it really is fascinating. We've had a lot of cool things in the show. This, to me, is like, it's crazy that you have this in your collection. I'm noticing you have a cassette player, which I don't think most people use at all, but what is in that machine there, sir?
So I have a large collection of recordings, and I have uncirculated recordings that were never released. And this,
so is this something potentially that we're going to listen to that maybe people have never heard before?
Absolutely. This came direct from a friend.
Wow.
She was an ex-girlfriend of the band members who was there when they were jamming back in the early 80s or mid-80s, 1985. And,
okay, I'm getting chills.
And this was actually when Tracy Guns was still the guitarist before Slash came in.
So can you play a little bit of that now?
Right, absolutely. We'll give it a shot.
Okay. I'm singing with Axl right now. Okay, I got this, Axl. I'm gonna come in. All right, got it. All right, print. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wanted to share that because it's,
That's insane. Have you ever thought about having these particular items appraised?
Thought about it, but I've never had it appraised yet.
Well, lucky for you, I just happen to have a kick-ass appraiser right here. We're looking at personal love letters written by Axl Rose, Slash's actual gold record signed by Slash, and a cassette rumored to be one of the first ever rehearsals that Kevin has somehow gotten his hands on. Now, this is an awesome collection.
It is.
Steven, what do we think the value of this is?
It's definitely an exciting collection for Guns N' Roses collectors because it spans the populist to the intimate. The whole genre of their music has increased in interest and collectability.
They're huge. They're still huge. Well, biggest tour, of all time, I think, right?
Yeah, the reunion tour.
Well, let's start with these letters here. The details are fairly unique in what he's actually saying, so I think that's very important. So I'd probably put this in the $5,000 to $6,000 range right now. Now, if we talk about this gold record, it has great provenance. It's a genuine RIAA. It's got the signature.
Very cool signature from Slash.
It is. You know, I'd say $4,000 to $6,000, to start with. Now, the hard thing here, what can I say about the tape? I mean, someone had a personal connection to the band and went there and just recorded it like they were just a neighborhood group.
It's awesome.
And they captured a moment in history that will not come again. At one level, you could say it's priceless. You know, how could you put a price on it? Because obviously it's never come up for sale before or anything like it has come up for sale. I think it would start somewhere in the $4,000 to $6,000 range, if not more.
Is that somewhere along the lines of what you were thinking the value would be?
I think so, yeah.
Any of these items, you interested in auctioning them off, or are you going to just keep them for your collection?
I think I'm going to keep them all for my collection. I have children, so as time goes on, values go up. So, you know, we'll see.